boys and girls. How are you today? Look what I brought. What do you think? What do you think would be inside of a jar like this? I have another one over here. I'll show you the other one I have too. It's a little bit bigger. Ooh. What would a mommy keep in a big jar like that? What do you think? Something very good. And it's something sweet, and it's something that you probably like to eat a lot, but you're not allowed to eat too many of them. This is a cookie jar. And a cookie jar is what mommies use to put cookies in. Now, there's all kind of cookies. There's chocolate cookies that are round. This one has a hole in it. This one's a long cookie. This one's just an itty bitty cookie. Look how little that cookie is. And this cookie has a real pretty shape to it, doesn't it? Kind of looks like a star a little bit. Well, our stories today are going to be about cookie jars, but let's see what I have in this cookie jar. Okay, let's take the lid off. I have some pretend cookies in there. Pretend cookies. And these are going to be my snickerdoodle cookies, okay? We'll call those our snickerdoodle cookies. So today with our cookies, let's do some adding. Let's have 1, 2 snickerdoodle cookies. And let's see what's in this cookie jar. Should we see? Let's look. Oh, Miss Kathy's favorite, chocolate chips. Okay, so let's add 2 snickerdoodle cookies. And how many chocolate chips? Let's get another one out. Let's add 2 chocolate chip cookies. So if I have 2 snickerdoodle cookies and 2 chocolate chip cookies, how many cookies do I have all together? Do you know? Can you add those? Can you add 2 plus 2 more? Oh, I hear you shouting 4. Let's see if you're right. 1, 2, 3, 4. Wow, you are very smart. It's fun adding cookies, isn't it? Okay, let's how many snickerdoodles should I take? Let's take more this time. Let's take 1, 2, what do you think? 3, 4. Let's have 4 snickerdoodle cookies. And let's add, oh, I got my chocolate chips. 1, 2. Oh, my chocolate chip cookies are stuck. 3. Okay, I have 4 snickerdoodle cookies plus 3 chocolate chip cookies. How many cookies do I have all together? I heard you shout. 7, do you think? Let's count and see if you're right, okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Good job. So 4 plus 3 is 7. Excellent work, boys and girls. Wow. Okay, let's do... how can I trick you? Let's do just 1 snickerdoodle. Okay, 1 snickerdoodle. And let's do 1, 2, I like chocolate chips. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Let's do 7 chocolate chip cookies, okay? So 1 snickerdoodle plus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 chocolate chip cookies. 1 plus 7. That's a big one. Do you think you know? I'll point, you count. 8. Good job. So 1 plus 7 is 8. Good job. Let's do one more. Let's do 5 chocolate chip cookies. And let's do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 snickerdoodles. 5 snickerdoodles plus, this is our plus sign, plus 5 chocolate chip cookies. I'm going to have to give you a minute to count those. 5 plus 5. 5 plus 5. You think you know? Really? Let's count and see if you were right, okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. How many of you said 10? Good job. Should we do a very easy one for the little boys and girls? Should we do an easy one? Because that was a really hard one. Let's do an easy one for all the little boys and girls. And you big boys and girls, you be quiet and don't tell them what it is, okay? Let's do 2 snickerdoodles. Let me get my big cookie jar. And let's do just 1 chocolate chip cookie. 2 plus 1. Okay, all little boys and girls. You think 3? Let's count. 1, 2, 3. Good job. 2 plus 1 equals 3. Good job adding today. Wow. I am so proud of how much you're growing and how much you are learning. Now, we have an old friend coming back to visit with us today. And I'm going to see if you remember who he is just by his sign. Do you know what that's a sign for? I'll give you a hint. It's an animal like a bear or a lion. But this one comes across his eyes like that. Do you remember? Think it's a bird? Think of an animal that might have something neat around his eyes. Doesn't it look like he's wearing a little mask? Doesn't it, across his eyes? That's our friend Adam. Raccoon. 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 All the animal signs, like lion because he's got all that fur, and bear because they're very big, and birds because they have a little beak. Well, the sign for raccoon, we're going to make this little marking on his eyes. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to use your pointy finger and the finger beside it and make a V on both hands. Let me see your V's. Good job. Okay, now we're going to turn them like this and put them like we're peeking through them. Just like Adam Raccoon. And we're going to pull them away. Raccoon. 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 Can you do that? Can you do raccoon? Raccoon. Raccoon. Now, today, we're going to see if Adam Raccoon can obey. 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 Man, sometimes it's hard to obey, isn't it? It's hard when our mommies ask us to do something or to be very quiet or to clean up our room. We have a choice to make. Are we going to obey? Obey. Make 2 fists. Keep your little thumbs out here. Now come up to where your eyes are. You're going to cover your eyes. Peekaboo. Obey. And you're going to take your hands down and you're going to open them up. Like you are obeying someone. Obey. We're going to see if Adam Raccoon can obey today. Now, our story, guess what it's about? Cookies and a cookie jar. So I can't wait to see what happens. Now, this book, boys and girls, is a very, very easy to read book. So I thought some of you boys and girls out there might want to read the story with me because it's a very easy reader. The name of the story is called Cookie Time. Oh boy, cookie time. Don't you love cookie time? Let's see what happens to Adam Raccoon. Oh, there's his really good friend, the lion. Do you remember what his name is? King Aaron. Good, good. King Aaron told, do you know what that word is? Adam, he could have a cookie. Oh boy, he has permission to get one cookie. You can only take one, he said. Okay, so what's the rule here? Adam Raccoon's allowed to have a cookie, but how many? Just one. So let's see if he can obey. So he gets his cookie. Looks like it's a chocolate chip cookie like we had. Ooh, I bet it's so good. And he ate his cookie, but after Adam ate his cookie, he wanted another one. Now, how many was he allowed to have? Just one. King Aaron said, you can go to the cookie jar and you can have one cookie. And he had his cookie and he ate his cookie. Let's see if he obeys. Uh-oh. When King Aaron wasn't looking, what do you think Adam Raccoon's going to do? Sometimes we do things when Mommy and Daddy's not looking. Oh, this is not going to end well. Adam climbed up high to take one more. So he wants two cookies instead of one cookie. Now let's look at what he built here. It looks like he put the chair up against there. And he's looking to make sure King Aaron doesn't come in because King Aaron said he could only have one. So he's looking. But look what he's standing on. Oh, looky. He's standing on his little tippy toe on the top of a chair that's pushed against the table. How do you think this is going to end? Do you think he might fall? I don't know, but he certainly isn't obeying, is he? He is not obeying. So let's see. Is that what you thought was going to happen? So did I. I thought he was going to fall. There's cookies flying everywhere. Uh-oh, he slipped. And then what did he say? Can you read that word? Help! He is going to fall and he is going to get badly hurt. Who do you think is going to catch him? King Aaron is so kind. Oh, he caught him. I'm sorry, King Aaron. Next time, I'll obey you. I'll obey you. Do you have trouble with obeying sometimes? Did Adam Raccoon obey? Do you know what Adam Raccoon did? He disobeyed. 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 Can you do those two signs? Obey. Obey. Disobey. Kind of like a peekaboo. Disobey. Okay, now I'm going to do one and you tell me if it's obey or if it's disobey, okay? All right, you watching? Good job, disobey. How about this one? Disobey. How about obey? Good job. Now, when you're at home, the Bible says, oh, this is a hard book, okay? Because see this PH in here? Sounds like an F. Ephesians. Ephesians. Can you say Ephesians? Ephesians. Remember, this is an F sound in here. Ephesians. Ephesians. 6. Good job. Easy one. 1. Ephesians 6, 1. In Ephesians 6, 1, it says, children, obey your parents in the Lord, for this is right. Ephesians 6, verse 1. Children, obey your parents in the Lord, for this is right. Ephesians 6, verse 1. Can you sing it with me one time? Children, obey your parents in the Lord, for this is right. Ephesians 6, verse 1. Now, we already know a sign for that verse, don't we? Children, obey your parents in the Lord, for this is right. Ephesians 6, verse 1. Hands like this, thumbs on the side, in front of your eyes, and come down. And curl them up. See how Miss Kathy has them curled up? Just like you're saying, I'll obey, Mommy. I'll obey. I won't disobey. I'll obey. Let's try our verse together. Children, obey your parents in the Lord, for this is right. Ephesians 6, verse 1. Children, obey your parents in the Lord, for this is right. Ephesians 6, verse 1. Well, we have a Bible story today, and it's about 2 children, and they're almost all grown up. So they're probably older than you are, but they're almost grown up. And these 2 boys live with their daddy, and I'm sure their daddy taught them that they should obey and taught them about God and taught them how to be good boys. Well, one day, the daddy came out to one of the sons and he said, I need your help today. I need you to go to the vineyard and trim some of the vines. Now, what do you think grows in a vineyard? Do you think maybe oranges? What would grow in a vineyard? In a vineyard. Let me give you a little hint. Oh, yum. What are those? Grapes. Do you like grapes? I love grapes. And grapes can come in all different colors. These grapes are green. They're green grapes. But there can be black grapes and red grapes and purple grapes. There can be all different color grapes. But grapes grow on these vines. Do you see these vines going through here? And what the daddy wanted his son to do that day was to go trim back some of the vines so that the grapes could grow better. Because sometimes they get just too many leaves and you got to cut some of the leaves back. So he wanted his boy, his son, to go out in the vineyard and cut back some of those long vines. Well, do you think he's going to obey or disobey? Well, the boy said, no. I have other things to do today. I don't want to go in that hot vineyard and cut back those vines. No. No. Disobey. How sad that daddy must have felt. Do you know how sad your mommy and daddy get when you don't obey? Well, this daddy must have been very sad. But a good thing happened, because when the boy was walking away, see the vineyards in the back? See all the grapes growing? They're all growing on those vines. When the boy was walking away, he thought about it. And he thought, you know what? Disobeying daddy isn't right. I was wrong. I should be obeying my daddy. And do you know what he did? He went to the vineyard and he did exactly what his daddy asked him to do. And that's a good thing. Even though it took him a little while, he still figured out that he should do what his daddy told him to do. Well, remember how many sons I told you that the daddy had? He had 2 almost grown sons. So he went to his other son. I don't know, maybe he was younger. I don't know. Bible doesn't tell us. But he went to his other son, and what do you think he asked his other son to do? The Bible says he asked his son to go into the vineyard and to help cut back some of the vines so that the grapes would grow. And this boy said, yes, sir, Daddy, I will go right away. I will obey you, and I will go do what you want me to do. But do you know what happened? When he walked away from his daddy, he thought about all the other things he might like to do that day. And he thought about how hot and tiring that would be to work in the vineyard. And do you know, even though he told his daddy he would go, he did not go. The Bible said he disobeyed. He did not go and do what his daddy asked him to do. So this daddy had 2 sons. One son finally did obey and do what daddy asked him to do. This son said he would do it, but he disobeyed and did not do what his daddy asked him to do. Do you know what? The daddy still loved both the boys. He still loved both of his boys very, very much. But which boy do you think made daddy so happy? The boy that obeyed. And do you know what? When we obey our mommies and daddies, or our teachers, or our pastor, when we obey, that makes God very, very happy. When we disobey, it makes God very, very sad. So we're going to learn a song about obeying our parents. And I have the words for those of you that can read. But you see, I have some part underlined here. That's the same part over and over. Obey your parents. Obey your parents. Obey your parents. Don't make them ask you twice. Did your mommy ever have to say, I want you to clean up your toys. You didn't clean up your toys. Please clean up your toys. Johnny, I told you to clean up your toy. And they have to ask you over and over and over and over before you obey. Obey your parents. Don't make them ask you twice. Obey your parents. Listen to their advice. Listen to what they have to say to you, because they love you so much. And everything they do, they want to do for your good. Following their instruction, what they tell you to do, will bring rewards to you. A reward is something you get when you do something good. Obey your parents. God will be pleased with you. And that's our reward. When we obey Mommy and Daddy, God is pleased. So let's try the song together. You listen one time. Obey your parents. Don't make them ask you twice. Obey your parents. Listen to their advice. Following their instruction will bring rewards to you. Obey your parents. God will be pleased with you. Now, I know there's a lot of words, so here's what I want you to do this time. Can you just sing the obey your parents part, and we're going to put our sign in. Obey your parents. Don't make them ask you twice. Obey your parents. Listen to their advice. Following their instruction will bring rewards to you. Get ready. Obey your parents. God will be pleased with you. How did you do? Did you do a good job? Should we try it again? Okay, now that you're learning it a little bit. Okay, remember, you do the obey your parents part and do it really loud. Okay, and I'll sing the rest of it till you learn it. Okay, all right. If you know it, you can sing with me, or if you can read the words, you can sing with me too. But if you can't read the words yet, obey your parents. You can do that part. Okay, practice. Obey your parents. Obey your parents. Okay, here we go. Obey your parents. Don't make them ask you twice. Obey your parents. Listen to their advice. Following their instruction will bring rewards to you. Obey your parents. God will be pleased with you. Obey your parents. Don't make them ask you twice. Obey your parents. Listen to their advice. Following their instruction will bring reward to you. Obey your parents. God will be pleased with you. One more time. Obey your parents. Don't make them ask you twice. Obey your parents. Listen to their advice. Following their instruction will bring reward to you. Obey your parents. God will be pleased with you. Oh, I love listening to you sing. Do you remember the name? Ephesians. Ephesians 6:1. Ephesians 6:1. Children, obey your parents in the Lord, for this is right. Ephesians 6:1. Sing it with me. Children, obey your parents in the Lord, for this is right. Ephesians 6:1. Children, obey your parents in the Lord, for this is right. Ephesians 6:1. Adam Raccoon almost got hurt because he couldn't obey King Aaron. And he had to have one more cookie. And it's very hard to obey sometimes, because sometimes we have to say no to ourselves because it's something we want to do very badly. But Mommy and Daddy say no. And our job is to obey. Because if we can learn to obey Mommy and Daddy, If we can learn to obey our teachers when they tell us what we need to do, when we can learn to obey our pastor and grandma and grandpa and other people that are in our lives, then we can learn how to obey God when God asks us to do something. So boys and girls, this week, I want you to work very hard on learning to obey. And every time you disobey, like that one little boy did, I want you to think about that and say, oh, I just disobeyed Mommy. And go tell Mommy you're sorry. And say, Mommy, I want to obey. Have a good week, boys and girls. I love you very much. And I want you to be good boys and girls this week and obey Mommy and Daddy. I love you. Bye-bye.